So how did I win $17,000 in scholarships in 4 months? If we haven't met before, my name's Sharon. I'm an undergrad student at Parsons School of Design. I study UX design, and yeah, college is really expensive. Going to private school is really expensive. College in general is expensive, and whatever has helped me win those scholarships, I want to share with you today as well. So if you're looking forward, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and let's get started. So the first thing I focused on all the things that made me different instead of applying to the very generic ones. Like, for example, I'm Korean American, I'm Christian, so I really focused on those in Google search. I would be very specific in the type of person I was. So like, I never applied for those really generic, like, write 50 words in a tweet and we'll give you like $10,000 or something. So I would focus all my energy on those 5 or 6 scholarships that apply to my unique background. And for the 17,000 in scholarships that I did win, I applied to 5 this past summer and I won 4 of the 5. The first one was $10,000, second one was $25,000, I think the second one was the same amount, and the last one was $2,000. I knew that if I was gonna spend that energy, spend that time anyway to apply for a scholarship, I want the chance of me winning to be higher. And I felt like if I want that chance to be higher, I should apply to one that requires XYZ backgrounds already, and I can apply, my work experience, my work ethic, my accomplishments to a smaller pool of applicants, thus increasing your chances of winning. And now to be a little bit more specific, the second thing I did was, once I had those differentiating key factors that makes your background, your story unique, is I would focus on those keywords and type in every single combination I could think of into Google search. For example, I'll just talk from, what I've done. I would type in first Korean American scholarship, Korean Christian scholarship, Koreans in New York scholarship, something plus something scholarship, and I would go through the first 5 or 6 pages in Google search and keep going through each of them, seeing if it's a match for my specific situation. Also, another thing I've done was, since I knew there was going to be a lot of scholarships for me being a minority race, what I did was I would actually use Google Translate, and I would type in Korean American scholarship into Google Translate, type it into Google search, and then use that camera phone feature to scan and translate it on the spot for all those scholarships too, because I can't read Korean. But luckily it worked, and I found 6 more scholarships from that that I'm trying to apply for right now. Yeah, so I think if you are also a minority, definitely use that advantage. Don't only look for scholarships in English, Spanish American scholarship, but also type in those scholarships in that native language. And when you're looking through these things, honestly, there's no getting around it. It's looking and searching through all of these scholarships. It's gonna take a long time. There's no shortcut to this. In the summer, I would spend around 6 hours a day, 2 times a week, just sifting through every scholarship. And I would look through say maybe 100 scholarships, and only 50 of them would apply, which is still a really good number. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's really finding scholarships is a waiting game. But hopefully you can use the keywords that I have, and that can help you in your scholarship search as well. So my third piece of advice, the first one is finding everything that makes you stand out. Second is using keywords in Google search to find those scholarships. And the last piece of advice I have is about the essay. So most of these scholarships do require an essay. Usually they're around 500 to 750 words, and arguably, in my opinion, I think this is the most important and the most integral part of your scholarship application. I think of it as, you have the general scholarship paper where you write down your name, email address, all of that. But what's unique about the essay, it's your only chance to show your unique voice, your unique background, what got you here, why did you choose a major that you have, and it's really a chance for you to show your background and your personality and why you're the best candidate for the scholarship. So when I first started my scholarship search, I didn't hammer out a winning scholarship my first try. Like, I lost my first scholarship that I applied to, but what I've done was I would Google search like top 5 winning scholarship essay examples, or like top 14 winning scholarship essay examples out of 1,000. And I would read through all of those winning scholarship examples before I even started writing my own winning first essay. And this is not like saying like I copied or anything. The reason why I've done that was I want to get used to the caliber of language, the type of language that these people want to hear and read about in your own essay. And writing scholarship essays that can be like a whole other video. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that. But what overall I will tell you is that I've noticed that great essays are nothing more than great storytelling. So when I would read through all of these essays, they had such a strong, like, emotionally moving story. They didn't just say things like, when I was 5 years old, I always wanted to do this. It's a very, that's like pretty generic. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like, I wrote that for one of my essays, my beginning essays. But usually I notice that these winning scholarship essay examples, they would have like a super strong opening statement that sets the tone for the rest of the essay, and a very strong closing statement. And through all of these, they'd have this one storyline that integrates their background, their work experience, and how slowly like their major became part of that, and how all of these factors are going to lead them into their future plans. Also, another tip that I have used, in each of my winning essay examples, I used the same storyline for all of them. So you can definitely repurpose essays. So for each of all of the essays that I have applied to this summer, the 5 essays, I used the exact same storyline. Of my background and some details around my family and why I was able to be at the place I am today, and I would simply just tweak it accordingly to the prompt. So I'm going to be a little vulnerable here about the storyline that I used. So I was the first person in my family to be born in the United States. You know, my parents came to give me and my siblings a better life, and you know, we grew up with like a lot of financial struggles. I was aware of how much we struggled, but what really drove me and gave me the motivation that drives me today is a lot of people in the neighborhood that I was growing up would bully me. They would call me poor. They would not invite me to parties because I didn't have like the latest Justice like outfit tracksuit. It's so stupid. But it was this feeling of being outcast and not being considered worthy enough just because my family didn't have as privileged circumstances as somebody else. So I would take that storyline and say something like, because of this incident, it motivated me in this way to do X, Y, and Z. It led me to these people, which inspired me to try doing this thing, which led to another thing. That's why I'm in UX design. You know, it's about really having that one strong storyline, and you can adjust that storyline accordingly to whatever the prompt it is. And for example, let me actually pull up one of the prompts that I had. By the way, I didn't mention this beforehand, but when I would sift through all of these scholarships, I would use the spreadsheet feature on Notion to track the name, the website, the amount, and its deadline. It's really good. You should check out Notion if you haven't already. For example, this one that I won, it was $10,000, and their prompt was, describe why your financial situation and what you've accomplished, example, scholastic achievements, community service, athletic achievements, overcoming certain extreme hardships, example, would warrant a scholarship from our foundation. But like the last sentence of my beginning paragraph, I wrote, yet these circumstances slowly burned a fire inside of me to believe what my peers received by privilege, I would achieve with effort. So specifically for this one, I would start off with that backbone, that same storyline that I repurposed again for my other essays, but I would further go into detail of, say, the scholastic achievements I have, like, for example, being director for the student senate of my school, like working 17 hours at my student job, graduating top of my high school class, being UX manager. So it's like you have this one sort of seed that everything else springs out from. But my main point being, you don't have to write a brand new essay for every single prompt. It's smarter to, and a better use of your time to use what you already have and improve upon it. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I had. Those are the biggest three things that have helped me a lot in my own scholarship search. It's to be specific in the background and qualifications that most likely only you would have. Avoid the generic scholarships. Focus on things like your race, your religion, your maybe existing health conditions. Be very persistent in trying to find these scholarships. It's really just a waiting game. Like, you know, like I didn't have some magical typing powers to help me. I don't have like an amazing IQ. It's really just patience in finding those keywords into Google search and like going through all of the scholarships and seeing if it's a match. But I promise you, if you are diligent, if you keep going at it, there is no way that you can't win at least one. You know, what really helped me during this time, because it is very discouraging to not hear back from a scholarship, or you might just feel really overwhelmed, is, and this is my opinion, I think it's better to try tackling my student debt now, because return on investment of my time into scholarships would go so much further than trying to pay it off after school. For example, like the scholarship that I won $10,000 for, it took me like 9-10 hours to complete the application. That means I just earned over like $1,000 an hour. And I feel like that's just so crazy, because there's no job that can ever pay you that much. It is definitely going to be hard, you know, you're not going to win all of them, but for the ones that you do win, you're only going to get better at winning more and more. It comes with the practice. I think the hardest thing is just trying to win your first one, but that should definitely not stop you from trying at all. Like if you lose, it's not like you're really losing anything. All you're doing is gaining more experience to try better on the next application. So that's all I have for this video. Those were the top 3 things that really helped me in my scholarship search, in writing my own essays. You really just need to be patient. Like, I'm not anybody special. I just think that I searched a lot and I just happened to find those couple of scholarships that really matched my background and skill set that I have to offer. So if you liked this video, if you enjoyed today's content, make sure to leave a comment down below. Try to, you know, if you have any other questions that I may not have addressed, let me know down in the comments. I'll try my best to get back to you. I hope I really did cover everything, but yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want to know, let me know. And until next time, thank you again for watching, and I will see you later. Bye guys.